absolutely terrible, but there is some breaking news. North Korea has launched a stealth attack on the crypto industry. We've got a couple of things to cover. I have just covered them, but the audio echoed the whole time, so I'm going to go through it, race through it again, and hopefully get that signal out there in a clear and concise way. So let's get straight into it. Mario NFL, breaking. North Korea launches a stealth attack on the crypto industry, as well as that Jim Cramer is sent to launch the bull run. Q3, the end of it may be a little bit bearish. Q4 is going to be absolutely insane. We're going to dive into that, all of that coming up. But the FBI is warning that North Korean cyber actors are executing complex, nearly undetectable social engineering schemes to target DeFi and crypto businesses. They use extensive pre-operational research to craft personalized fake job offers and investment opportunities, even impersonating real people using stolen social media photos. Hackers often initiate long conversations to build trust, eventually persuading victims to run malicious scripts or download malware. FBI warning signs, unexpected job offers with high pay, unsolicited investment deals, and requests to execute unknown code or use custom software. Companies should tighten security, authenticate contacts via separate channels, and be wary of unsolicited offers. Basically, the takeaway is if your Bitcoin's on the exchange, get it off, make sure it's in self-custody. Multi-sig is the best option to be able to go down. If anyone is trying to get your Bitcoin, don't click on any links and any emails, anything like that. Don't trust, verify the whole time. This is generational wealth. And it adds up very quickly. So do make sure you're doing everything to be able to protect it. I have reposted this at Sean Clark 911 if you would like to see the PSA by the FBI on that. But North Korea, they want your Bitcoin more than anyone that is leaving their Bitcoin on the exchange or through the ETF, is my opinion. Now, this is huge. Yes, deja vu, cyber, dude. We want to get this audio clear, the signal concise. The signal we're waiting for. Grab your moon boots. We are heading higher. Time to reach for the stars. Bitcoin breaking. Let's effing go. Big breaking. Jim Cramer turns bearish on Bitcoin and crypto. This is the sign every single time. Every single time Jim Cramer absolutely sends it for us. Maybe not straight away. May not happen today because we're under 58K. But Jim Cramer turning bearish is absolutely bullish for the whole space. Thank you so much. And we need to forget about the Fed. China could be about to drop a $420 billion Bitcoin and crypto price bombshell. Now, Bitcoin has soared this year as traders ramp up bets that the Federal Reserve is about to declare victory on its war on inflation. Truth be told, they have not, nor can they ever. They're just changing the way they measure all these things, all these metrics, the whole fiat system. It's a psyop. Anyway, they're going to gaslight us. They're going to put out the information, hey, we beat it, it's all behind us. Despite fears mounted over the US spiraling $35 trillion debt spiral, they're also going to say $35 trillion in debt, don't worry about it, it's all good, we got this sorted. No, they don't. It's going to keep getting bigger for the rest of our lives. Purchasing power of the dollar is going down dramatically. Now, some crypto experts bet China could be about to open up its digital doors to crypto. Economists calling on China to begin monetary stimulus to booster or bolster the country's flagging economy. China could increase this year's special sovereign bonds to $420 billion. They couldn't meme it any better, could they? Very interesting here. Earlier this week, Beijing-based analyst Zhaixing Wang polled economists who called for increased government spending. Nobody should be calling for increased government spending ever. It's not good for anyone. It's never good for the citizens, especially the low-income citizens, because they're not holding hard assets. But found consensus that aids could at least go to low-income groups. And the low-income groups will be like, yes, give us free money. We're going to want it. We saw this in 2020. Happened in Australia, happened in the US. People that put their stimmy checks into hard assets did really, really, really well. Like incredibly well, especially if they put it into Bitcoin. They held it in fiat. Their dollar got debased hardcore. That money just flows straight back up to the quintillionaires. They're left worse off than inflation. Grocery prices, gas prices, food and grocery, same thing. Electricity. Basically, everything that we purchase with fiat has gone up due to the money going out. We never ever want the government to spend more money because who's paying for it? It's always the taxpayer, always. Even if they print it, it's the hidden tax goes to the taxpayer. Last week, Arthur Hayes, co-founder of Bitcoin and crypto derivatives pioneer BitMEX, who went on to set up Maelstrom Investment Fund, wrote in a blog post he expects China the next year finally unleash its long-awaited bazooka fiscal stimulus. Predicting the China-America crypto bull run shall be glorious. Be grateful when it comes here when we get out of this 58k sideways. While these sideways weeks like this feel uneventful for crypto traders, they are crucial for Bitcoin's long-term health. Of course they are. The last several months have allowed Bitcoin to build a solid support base around $60,000 to $70,000, putting a nice concrete solid floor. Even if we blast past it and we come back down, we take the stairs, it's very easy for us to go back up to the $60,000 to $70,000 level to be able to launch and build the next floor. I think that's going to take us $80,000 to $90,000 by the end of the year. A look at not financial advice, just my opinion. A look at Bitcoin's monthly chart reveals that the asset has been consolidating near its 2021 high for over 6 months. If Bitcoin breaks out this range now, it might likely have much stronger upward momentum than if the breakout happened earlier this year. 100% agree. That's the FBI warning. Just really briefly, North Korea is conducting highly tailored, difficult to detect social engineering campaigns against employees of decentralized finance, DeFi, cryptocurrency, and similar businesses to deploy malware and steal company cryptocurrency. Please get your Bitcoin off the exchange. It does look like we've got a 100% chance of a rate cut coming in September. Initially, this may be a little bit bearish initially. It's more likely to be a little bit bearish long term, so bullish. So if we get a dip, cool. It's all good. No need to worry. If we don't get a dip and we just pump from there, all good. No need to worry. This is bearish. 2050, Van Eck, Bitcoin at $2.9 million per coin. I think that's a little bit low, but 26 years out in the future, who knows what will happen? Who knows? Are we at hyper-Bitcoinization by that stage? Are the majority of people using Bitcoin at that stage? They're just using it as a store of value. Is Bitcoin then at the market cap of gold? Is it twice that of gold? Is it 10 times the amount of gold? Are we coming for that $900 trillion of financial assets out there in 26 years? Maybe. I think it's going to be a little bit higher than this, but we'll see. $2.9 million and today's purchasing power would be okay. In 2026, purchasing power, I don't know, it's probably where it is now, $58,000 if they keep money printing up. Now, Q4, 7 out of 11 times it has been bullish. The average is plus 88.84% upside in Q4. Q3, the average up is 5%. So I think we're in for a pretty bloody good time. Hey, sweetie darling, I won't be long. My beautiful wife's just there smiling at me. It's a good day. Now, a little bit of perspective. 15 days to the US Fed's cut rates. 16 days until the UK Bank of England cut, and 2 months to the election in the US. And any day now, as always, MicroStrategy will increase its treasury by $2 billion in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, he stated many times he will always buy the top of Bitcoin because fiat has no bottom. Same with me. And we brought it up earlier. Actually, we'll bring it up shortly, Mr. Jim, buying $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 because it's going to $1 million. I agree with that mentality. PSA, YubiKeys, they are vulnerable to clone attacks thanks to newly discovered side channel. These are used mainly for 2FA signing devices, including banking smart cards, electronic passports, and secure access systems. How the hack takes place, they have to physically hold the device. If you are using one of those devices for any reason, whether it's your banking or just 2FA to be able to get into a hot wallet exchange or whatever, don't let it out of your sight, I guess would be my opinion. If you need any help securing Bitcoin, if you're using the YubiKey, if you just need help getting your Bitcoin off the exchange, reach out to the Bitcoin Way. These people are literally the best in the business. Tony and the team, 25 years in the cybersecurity industry. They have the best experience. The first 30 minutes is free. They can just give you a health check on your cold custody setup, making sure it's in multi-sig or single sig, but you're doing the right things. It is protected because it's generational wealth we are dealing with. Everyone that's worked with him has been so chuffed, so pleased. There's not been a negative response going through from him. Had a lot of people on this channel use them as well. Highly recommend I use them myself. Same with my mum. and my wife's mother-in-law. So definitely reach out to the Bitcoin Way today. I couldn't recommend them enough. Anyway, let's carry on with the show. Let's race through the $64 million buy from Bitcoin from Binance the other day. My pretty wife is distracting me there. She's got these eye mask things on. It's looks like fancy dress this morning. Anyway, the $64 million buy over and over again. Mr. 100, this person that keeps buying. That's a whole lot of fun, a little bit of speculation. You know, even on Twitter, I'm like, is this Dell buying? Just playing clown world. But no, it's Mr. 100, which is up at exchange. Sunny, timechainindex.com, has gone through multiple times and debunked this over and over and over again. He reckons for the millionth time he has resolved this. I have reposted at Sean Clark 911. Mr. 100 is up at the end of the day. Nothing to get excited about. But the exchange is buying Bitcoin on other people's behalves. So people are buying Bitcoin. It's very bullish. And we have seen whales accumulate an extraordinary amount at the moment. And the hash rate's at an all-time high. Very bullish. The price always follows the hash rate. It's just a lagging indicator. Aussie Jim, if you feel like there will be no more bull run next year, buy Bitcoin. If you feel Wall Street is wash trade and Bitcoin will never go to 100K, buy more Bitcoin. If your partner says it's time to sell, buy more Bitcoin. Bought at 1,000, I bought at 10,000, I bought at 100,000 AUD. Beat your Jim there. I think we bought at 110,000, like just before the top. Just before the top. I was trying to time the top, didn't manage to. But 100,000 AUD, what makes you think it won't go to $1 million? 100% agree. And when the prices are like this, 57,722, it's a good time to buy more Bitcoin. Just buy a stack and chill. Study Bitcoin. Put in the proof of work. Don't get shaken out at these posts. This is a gift from the 58K gang, even though they have lost a little bit of momentum at the moment. Bitcoin, Capo here. Actually, quite enjoying Capo. A little bit of a shitcoin it puts it out, but when he's focused in on the Bitcoin signal, he gets it right. Very selective of Capo is what I bring up, but Bitcoin hash rate an all-time high. Bitcoin price always follows. Yes, it does. I believe we're at 777 exahashes this morning. It is deja vu. Stay free. G'day, legends. McLovin in the house. G'day. If you can do us a favor, I'm going to delete the first stream. If you can just smash the like button, share this video, and get people to watch this video. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe if we vibe. We go live 5 days a week, 7:35 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Apart from now, we are live on location, and it was a nice day just to be able to take it easy. Gonna say this is BS from Bitfinex. This in regards to the Fed's cutting rates. Bitcoin went on to have a face melting bull run every time they cut rates, yes, but in the short term, the rate cuts happen and we can get a drop. Expect it, but yes, long term, it always goes up and to the right. They are saying Bitcoin could drop to 45K in September, according to Bitfinex. Maybe. I think that $48,000 level is a lot more solid than dropping down to 45K. I think we'd probably hold above 53. Even if we wick down like really quickly, it would be very quick and then come straight back up to about $58,000, whether it takes 1 or 2 weeks to play out. I think it's less likely to go down much further than where it is or below 53,000. Rajat, I like this. I still get tons of comments and DMs telling me to stop talking about Bitcoin because the poor can't afford it. I think the poor can't afford not to buy Bitcoin. If you've paid any attention at all, you know you don't need to buy whole coins. You can buy fractions. Each Bitcoin, 100 million Satoshis. One Bitcoin, 57,400. If you only have a few dollars, buy $1 of Bitcoin at 1,700 Satoshis at the moment. We are getting low on the computer. How long we got? 10%. Let's go. Let's beat the computer. What a joy this morning. Perspective. 2009, you could buy 10,000 Bitcoin for $30. Anyone can afford 10,000 Bitcoin. Back then, most people, including myself, ignored it. I ignored it as well. Not heard about Bitcoin. I first stated I was going to buy Bitcoin at $94 Australian. Started buying it when it was 300 times more expensive. Not 300%, 300 times more expensive at 30,000 Australian dollars. you get Bitcoin at the price you deserve. Unfortunately, today buying 10,000 Bitcoin is going to cost $590 million. $30 can buy you 50,000 sats. Anyone can afford 50,000 sats today. Most people ignore it. 15 years, I think $30 will buy less than 500 sats, which puts Bitcoin at $1 million. Definitely possible. I think that's probably more likely than VanEck 2.9 million. 15 years out, still a long way though. Time will tell, and hopefully you're here for it. I know I will be. Almost nobody will be able to afford 50,000 sats for 3,000 only. 0.0000001% will be able to afford 10,000 Bitcoin for $60 billion. Yeah, most people won't. That's where nation states are here. Bitcoin, buying it's going to make housing more efficient. I'm going to repost that. It's really good. We've brought that up multiple times there on the channel. I think the audio was clean in the last stream where we got through that. But basically, buying Bitcoin, people don't need to use housing as a store of value. It frees up houses for their utility use. People can use Bitcoin as a store of value, as a medium of exchange, and then housing's just housing. If they want to have 1-2 houses, that's fine, but they don't need to go have 5, 10, 50, 100 doors as a store of value, as an investment asset. Now we are racing. We're at about 6% on the MAC. Majority of Americans can no longer afford an average house. Medium household income, $83K, required income, $120,000. I guess the only way for the average person, unless the banks lower the deposit down to 0%, is just to be able to save your deposit in Bitcoin, save for 4-8 years, and then go into it and just delay the gratification of buying a house, which is a liability, not an asset. Anyway, but I think that's probably the easiest way for most people. And then just remember USD. Transactions, they can be censored, they can be turned off at any time. Therefore, the dollar is not as liquid as Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't be turned off like the US dollar can. If Bitcoin's in self-custody and you're running your own node, we have seen hardware wallets censor transactions as well. It's running through their node. So just run your own node. It doesn't cost much, and make sure your wallet is air gapped and you're backing up your seed on steel. It's really not that hard at all. It's just a process, a couple of steps that need to be followed. And the glorious time on the block clock, let's just make sure it is fresh and hit refresh on there, and we'll get block height 859,766. We're at 57,803. Sats per dollar is 1,730. The block time is still 9 minutes and 44 seconds. 24 blocks too fast. The previous adjustment was harder, up 3% 6 days ago. And obviously the hash rate has come down 0.19% in the last 24 hours. But it's still up a hell of a lot to be running fast over the last 24 hours. Now that's news with the fast facts. Usually we hang around for a bit of the banter. We had that earlier. I can see a lot of people are tuning in that were here before. If you can do us a huge favor, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, smash the notification bell, just share the video, share every Bitcoin video out there. Bitcoin is so cheap. It's such an opportunity. Come the end of the year, we're going to look back and be like, I want $58,000, 58K gang, please come back in charge. Too little, too late. So please put in the proof of work now. Study Bitcoin. Really good books. If you haven't already read it, the Genesis book. If you've read maybe 4 other Bitcoin books, read Crypto Sovereignty by Eric Kaysen, and then a book if you're interested in your health that you'd find very interesting, that may challenge so many of your perspectives, beliefs, The Carnivore Diet by Dr. Sean Baker. Side note, and don't put 2 and 2 together, but we've got an amazing guest coming on in 2 weeks, absolutely huge, someone that's been on Joe Rogan, putting out some really high signal, hardcore Bitcoiner out there, and just puts in the proof of work. So tune in for that, hit the notification bell. That'll be a pretty epic podcast. Anyway, we'll see you on Friday. Probably no live stream tomorrow. I need to get the studio back in order. Out of the garage back into the studio. Now the walls and the roof and everything, the floors are all done in there. Anyway, peace. It's cleared up nicely. It's still like 50 km/h winds on that side of the island, but we might go out for a strap and a play. Enjoy the